Okay guys, welcome back to episode 6 I think it is of the Flappy Bird series. That should be our final episode. We don't have lots to do in this episode, so hopefully it will only take about 20 minutes to complete. Let's have a look. Well, let's jump into Notion and see what is on the list to do. So we have completed most of the gameplay. In the previous episode we started working on the score, and I think we actually finished that. And then we also added in the collisions, and we started working on restarting the game whenever you collide into some of the pipes, but we didn't get that finished, so that's what we're going to work on today. And then what we're also going to do is we're also going to add in some sound, so whenever you go through the pipe and collect a point, we're going to add in a sound to the game, just to make it a bit fun. So let's jump straight into Unity and get started. So obviously I've opened it up just to save some time again. So let us see, what should we start with first? Let's go ahead and start with the sound. So I have gone ahead and downloaded a sound just for just to speed it up. I think this is it. Yeah, so I'll import this into here. Just like that. It's very let's try and play it. It is very, that's all it is. That's the sound. I don't know if you heard it. You can play it again. There you go. That's what the sound is. So we're going to use that sound whenever you go through the pipes. We're going to play that once every time we go through the pipes. So let's go ahead and start doing that. So on here, let's go ahead and create an empty object in our hierarchy. And here, let's go and say, we'll call this sound manager. Or actually, let's see. No, we're not going to do that there, so let's go ahead and delete that. What we can do is we can do all of this in the, let's see, if we go to our scripts where we triggered the score, which is here. So this is where we add the score, so this is also where we're going to want to go ahead and play the sound. So we'll do everything in here. So let's go and see what game object has this script on attached to it. So let's see, canvas, the score doesn't. We could probably just search for it and see when this stops loading. So if we go and search for a trigger, clearly nothing. Okay, so nothing's got it on at the moment. UI manager, what's there? Let's have a look at this. We open up our UI manager, we got our score. Okay, so that's just updating the UI. So we will go ahead and create a, well, let's go ahead and go into this. We'll do it in trigger score, just like I said before. So in here, what we want to do is we want to say create a serialized field, private audio clip. So that's, we're going to drag in that sound clip that we had. So we'll call that what is it called? Point. Okay, we'll just call it sound, because we're only going to have one, so it doesn't really matter. And then what we also want is a serialized field, private audio source, wherever that is. There. So we'll call this audio source, just like that. And then here, whenever we go through the trigger, we are going to call audio source dot play one shot, and we're going to play the sound. So we'll save that, and then we can go back into the inspector, and now we need to create an empty object so that we can drag our audio source into it. So let's just play this and see if we get any errors quick. We will get an error as soon as we whenever we go through the trigger box, because obviously we can't play a sound yet. So you'll see. So there we go. We get what player was called with an audio clip, so we need to assign that. So in here, let's create empty object, and then we'll call it sound manager. Or let's call this trigger manager, because it's not only the sound manager, it's also the trigger function. So on here, let's go and add our trigger score, and then in here we want to add in a audio source all the way at the bottom. So we'll do that, and then we'll drag that into the audio source, and then we want to drag our point sound into our sound field there. So let's do that, and let's play the game and see if that works. So hopefully that works. If that works, that was pretty quick and awesome. And then the only thing left we have to do is to what is it? Okay, so that's still not working, so let's go and see why. Play one shot was called with a null audio clip. Okay, trigger manager. Audio source dot play one shot. Okay, did I save that? I must have saved it because we dragged the objects into here. So let's play this once more time and see what happens. So play. Okay, we need to get there first. So we also need to add in the restart function so that we don't have to keep starting the game over and over again to play it. So if we also, I need to stop dying so that we can test the sound. That would be helpful. But because it kind of lags at the beginning, it's kind of hard, just because computer is slow. So we'll eventually get there soon, hopefully. I hope. So let's see. Okay, I don't think we'll get there. Try this again. Okay, let's see now. Hopefully, okay, no, this is not gonna work. Okay, so we'll move on and we'll test it later. So let's go ahead and create, or on our canvas, now we're gonna start working on the, what's it called? On the pause or the game over menu and the restart. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in a panel, and then in this panel we're going to add in a, why did I cut that? Okay, I think it's fine. But anyway, let's go ahead and rename this to game over panel, and then on there we will go and add in a image, and then we will change the image to the game over, and then we will resize this. So let's go ahead and drag this out of it, just like this. We'll probably move this up here into the middle somewhere, like that. And then we also want to add in a button so that when we press it, we can restart the game. So we are going to delete the text off of the button, so there's no text, and we are going to change the image of it to our play button. So let's go and resize this to how we want it, probably just like that. So what does that look like? That looks better. What we could do is we could probably get rid of the background color, or we could probably just make it a bit darker, maybe like that. Or actually, I think let's make it like that, so it kind of goes a bit dark when the game is over. So like that. That looks better. And then so now whenever you crash into one of the pipes, this is going to be presented, and then you'll press on this button to restart the game. So let us go and do that. So let's see, do we have a script we can do this in, or do we need to make another one? Okay, I think we'll do it in the UI manager. So here, let us go and create another serialized field. Private, what is this? This is a game object, I think, and we will call this game over panel. Like that. And then let's create another method here, and we'll call this public void game. Can I spell properly? Game over panel. like this. And then in here we want to say, let's see, what is, do we have a is game over option? Okay, we'll try to do it this way. We'll say if time dot time scale is equal to 0, then let's go and say game over panel dot set active is true. Actually, we want to not do that because, well, we need to do that, but we need to do that in the update here. So, and then, so if the time scale is equal to 0, which means the game is obviously paused, then we want to set that game over panel is equal to true, or set active is equal to true, so that it appears on the screen. And if it's not, we can go and say else game over panel dot set active is false, like that. And then in here we want to, well, this is going to be the function we call when we press the button. So we want to call scene manage something from this, or load scene from scene management. So we need to import that. So we'll go using Unity engine.scene management, like that. And then in the game over panel, all we want to do is we want to say, what is it? Scene manager dot load scene. What is it? Scene manager dot well, let's try this again. Scene manager dot get active scene dot name. So that is going to load the scene that we're in. So that should restart the game. So hopefully that works. So let's go ahead and see if we need to import anything. Well, not import, but drag and drop anything. So we need to drag and drop in our game over panel into the UI manager class or game object here. So we'll go and do that when this loads. So we need to drag that into there. So we can drag that in like that, and I think we'll set that. We'll leave that like that for now, and we'll see if the game over panel disappears. So if it works correctly, it should disappear when the game starts, which it does. So that's fine, and we can go in there, and so yeah, so that works nicely. So whenever the game is paused, we get our panel presented to us, and now we can go ahead and work on this button. So on the button, we did this somewhere in our, I think it was obstacle class, yeah. So over here, we can go ahead and delete all of that, because the only thing we want to do when we collide with something is we want to set the timescale to 0, and then we don't really need this again. So we'll go ahead and delete that. What did I do? So yeah, so we'll go ahead and delete all of that, and then we will simply go ahead and put all of that, or delete that quick because we don't need that. So what we'll do now is whenever we want to restart the game, we're going to call this method. So let's go and assign that to our button. So hopefully this works, because we try to do this in the previous way. Whenever we collided with the pipes, we just wanted to call it straight away, and that didn't seem to work. So hopefully it will work now that when we press the button, it calls the function, and then hopefully it loads in the new scene, well, not the new scene, but loads in the current scene again as a fresh scene. So in that case, it would reset the score of the player, but it's also going to reset the what's it called? It's going to reset the, like, all the pipes. Going to delete all of the current pipes that are in the scene. So let's see, what is this on? So this is on UI manager. So we can drag in our UI manager into here, and then we can go on our UI manager and we can call the game. No, is it game over panel? Actually, I'm gonna rename this just so it makes more sense. So let's say restart game, or let's go reload scene, because that's what it's doing. Cool, so we'll save that and then we'll jump back in here, and we need, I don't know if this is going to update or we might have to change it. So we'll wait for that to reload and see. So UI manager, reload scene. Cool. So let's go play the game, and I really hope this works, because if it doesn't, I have no idea why wouldn't work. So let's test this out. Okay, so it did work. Did it? Okay, I think we might need to. Well, let's go and let's try and go through a pipe and see if it works. Well, it should work. It just, we need to get through it without crashing into one of the pipes. So let's try that and see. Okay. So I think that is working, but the only problem is that we might need to reset the game's time scale. So in here, let's just go and say time.times, or what do I do? Time.timescale is equal to 1, like that. So let's see if that works. Because if that does work and the game starts up again, then that should dismiss the game over panel automatically, because obviously the time scale is going to be more than 0. So let us see. Hopefully we can play the game, and hopefully that works perfectly fine, because if it does, that means then we only need to figure out why our sound is not playing, and that should be it for this project. So let's see. So we'll play that. Yeah, so that's working. Cool, so that's working nicely. So now let's see if we can get through one of these pipes, wherever. Okay, so we will get there. Okay, eventually we'll get there. Okay, but it's currently not resetting the text, so I think we'll need to go and redo that. So let's see, scores equal to 0. So we could simply say here, score is equal to 0, just like that. So we reset that. That should reset the text in the game as well, because obviously the text field is assigned the value of score. So if we reset that to 0, it should reflect that when the game updates. So now we just need to figure out why the audio clip is not playing. Currently it is because we have no audio clip. Well, we have a null audio clip, so we'll figure out why that is when it eventually loads. But yeah, after that, that is it for this series. Series 4 will be finally over, and we can start Series 5. Exciting. So let us see if the score works. So obviously we're going to crash now. We'll start the game again. Go through 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to crash. Okay, so that works nicely. The score gets reset. Okay, so now the only thing left to do is to reset the, well, not reset, but try and figure out what is happening with this audio. So let's see, UI manager, where did we do that? It was in a trigger manager, wasn't it? Here. Okay, so I might just assign the audio clip into here, and we'll see if that works, hopefully. Because if that works, then we probably don't need to. Okay, so that plays straight away, so let's see. Okay, no, so that doesn't work, so let's go ahead and see. We'll go and set that to none. We're not going to play on awake, so let's see if that works, because we only wanted to play our current audio clip, which is this point named one, when we go through the trigger box. So it's still not working, so let's go ahead and see why. So let's go ahead and copy that, and we'll paste this in Google, and we'll Google that. audio null in Unity. So let's see, I'm getting the weird error when I'm trying to run my gain here. This code, okay. Yeah, cool. Okay, so that's not voted good. So let's see. That's pretty much what we want. So let's see if that's any help. If it loads, that will be helpful. So let's see. Okay. Oh, never mind. I kept going with the course, and I had the same issue. I had the same issue with the duplicated script. Let's try some. Well, let's see if we have an audio source anywhere else. So, trigger score, that's where we have our audio source. Obstacle, we don't. Spawner, we do not. Let us see. So, trigger manager here. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. Let's go and remove it, and then we will add in a new one. Drag that in there. Audio clip is nil, so let's go back and try and figure it out. That's got no answer, so that's going to be helpful. Scripting, play audio source, play one shot. That's what we're doing, but why does our audio source not have a... Can we drag? No, we can't. Let's assign that, and then can we do this? Let's try something different here. Where do we? So here we get. So let's try and say audio source dot get component audio clip, and then we'll assign this. So let's go and say sound is equal to that. Just like that. So if that works, we won't need that. So hopefully that will work. So that should disappear there, the sound. We shouldn't have a reference to the sound. But then we can drag the point. Well, we don't really need to do that anymore because we've already done it. So the point is our current audio clip. So let's go and play the game and see if this works. So hopefully that works when this eventually loads. Okay, so but we don't want it to play on awake, so we'll fix that. Just need to untick that box. So let's see. Okay, unassigned reference exception. A variable audio source of trigger score has not been assigned. You probably need to assign the audio source variable of the trigger score script in the inspector. Trigger score script. So we don't want that to play on awake, so we'll save that, and we'll go back and we'll go and revert this back to what we had, because that clearly doesn't work. So let's see, are we doing anything different? I've done this so many times, I don't know why is it not working. Let's go and say Unity audio play one shot. So let's see, audio source. I'll tell you what, let's go and delete this here like that, and we'll try it this way. So let's add in our start method. And then in here we can go and say trigger score. So we'll say audio source is equal to get component. What is it? What is it called? Audio source. Audio source like that. We'll assign that to our audio source like that, so hopefully we won't have to drag and drop any audio into the or any audio clip into our audio source, because that shouldn't. Actually, that's not going to work either, because we still need to have this here. But we'll try it anyway. You never know. Do we need to reassign our point clip? Do we? Let's see. So yeah, we do. So let's drag that in there like that. Sound in there. And then we can play this again. Okay, so we're still getting that error. Play one shot was called with a null audio clip. This is not null though. Yeah, it's definitely not null, because it plays a sound and you can hear it whenever the game starts. Unity audio source not playing. Let's try that. Let's try something else quick. If we create a new game object and we can assign that its own audio, so let's go and add in a component. We'll add in a no, that's still no. That still hasn't got anything in it. We'll remove that, and then actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to check on one of our previous games. So let's see, where do we use let's go to the internet and see on our previous games, where did we, not that one, so let's go, let's have a look and see where we used audio in our previous games. So let us go to, let's go to channel, playlists. So we're currently using it in Flappy Bird. It might have been, we'll check breakout if that still opens. It's probably not going to open. Okay, so no, because we don't have that version installed. Okay, so we need to try and figure this out in the using the internet. So audio, yeah. Where is the audio source? There isn't an audio source there. Its mutual volume is 0. The audio listener component is not present. Okay, bad audio replaces with another audio. That's not the problem. You need to have an audio listener in the scene, and also check the 3D sound settings. No. Let's just do this. Unity play audio clip. Let's watch this video and see. We'll mute it. So do they have? So they have audio source, audio clip. What's next? Audio listener. Maybe that's why. Do we need an audio listener? Let's go delete that because we don't need that, and then let's see, audio listener. We'll delete that, and then we'll add a new one and say audio source like that. That's probably not gonna work, so we don't want to play it on wake. Then we can drag in our sound like that. Play it and see if it works. Otherwise, we might just have to check. What is it called? I think, I'm pretty sure I made a tutorial on how to do this, and I've already forgotten. So let's go ahead and see if I did. Internet is slow. So let's go to channel and then tutorials, where's the playlists? Let's see here, probably under 2D tutorials maybe. No, we don't want to play all of them. How to pause game. How to make a game object, how to make a camera, how to import, how to animate, how to slice, how to save data, how to play sound during your game in Unity, how to create a simple Okay, so let's see in this video where let's see what I did. So this is taking incredibly long to do something that's supposed to be very simple, so I apologize for that. Okay, so audio source, audio clip. So we're doing the exact same thing. We've got our audio source, we've got our audio clip, and then we're saying audio source.play one shot with the clip. So that's fine. Let's see in here. So my audio source, we need to add that component, which we will probably do later on. So add the component, audio source. That doesn't have. Drag that in there, yeah. And then if we play the game or play it, it should work. Which it does. So which means there is no reason for this not to be working. So let's go ahead and stop the game because we don't need that. Trigger manager, we don't need audio listener, I don't think. Do we have another audio listener? So let's go and say audio. No, we don't. So I don't know. Let's play this again and see if it works. If it doesn't, we can probably just call this a day because I don't know why this is not working. It's supposed to be. No, it's still not working. Okay, so that's not working. So anyway, I don't know why that's not working because that's pretty much exactly what we've done in the tutorial that I made to do this exact thing. So it's a bit weird, but I don't know, maybe I'll make a video later on to see if I can try and figure out what's happening. But anyway, yeah, so that is pretty much our Flappy Bird series done, other than that small hiccup to do with the sound. It's not that important, but you get it if you get it. If you do want to learn how to do that sound, go and check that tutorial that we were looking at. I have done this exact same thing in that tutorial, so, which is why it's weird why it's not working. But yeah, that's it for this series. That's a wrap up on series 4, the Flappy Bird series. So we are going to be starting the next series probably in a couple of days. For that one, we are going to be, I don't know if I have Don't know if I have made any plan. Well, I know what series it is, but I don't know if I've written it down. Okay, so it's not that one. So okay, so I haven't written it down, but I could probably show a quick image of some of the art that I made for it, if it loads. So we're going to be making like a space jumper, which is basically just an endless jumper. I'll show you now some of the, or one of the images that I made for it. It's kind of like an advert for it. But what it is you start off on a platform, and then you just have to jump from one platform to the other and see how far you can go. And obviously, if you miss it and you fall down, you have to start from the beginning. We might add in a few extra things, like a time limit on how long you can be on some of the platforms, just to make it more interesting. But I think that it should be short. I'm trying to keep these game series short so that we can get them done in reasonable time. So I don't even think I finished this image, but here I will show you now. This is kind of what the theme is going to be like. So we're going to have platforms like this with a little astronaut, and all you have to do is jump from one platform to the other onto the next one and see how far you can go. They're going to be spawned randomly. So you jump on the one to the next, and then probably the further you go, the more difficult it will get. So that either they'll be spaced, they probably won't be spaced, but like further lengths. But maybe it will speed up the gameplay. And we'll also probably add in a time limit on some of the platforms, so that if you're on the platform for longer than I don't know, like 3 seconds or something, we'll probably make it disappear. But yeah, that is the fifth series of this channel. So we'll go ahead and start that on Thursday. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this series. I hope you enjoyed this series as much as I did. If you did, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next series, and don't forget to like this video. So that's it for this video, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next series. Goodbye.